What's up, guys, and welcome back to my Let's Build It series. Man, I'm super stoked to be back on this series. You guys have been really loving this series. The last two Let's Build It videos were my honestly first and second best video on my channel. And as you know, I'm not really a Minecraft YouTuber. I do make a lot of Minecraft funny moments videos and Minecraft videos in general. But I started this series because I love to build in Minecraft, and I just wanted to put my building skills and my creative skills to the test. So if you haven't seen episode 1 or 2, go check those out. You can see it right there. If you're wondering how I built this absolutely insane Skull Fortress throne room, go watch that video on screen right there. I'll also be leaving the video links in the description below, as well as episode 1 of Let's Build It. As you can see, this super cool jungle temple right here. But today you're probably wondering to yourself, what are you gonna build next? Two pretty random builds. We have a jungle fortress and we have a skull fortress. But today I honestly knew I was gonna make this video, but I had no idea what I was gonna build. And I woke up this morning and I was really excited and I had a really good idea. I'm sure all of you have seen this, and I'm sure there's one in your closest city near wherever you live. I thought of a clock tower, and clock towers are super cool. I thought, how do I make that even cooler? So today I will be building a clock tower, but one that resembles more of a grandfather clock. I'm going to try to merge these two things together. So first things first, let's grab our blocks and start figuring out how the build's going to go. So we got the spruce log, the spruce planks, and then gold. And if you've seen any of clock towers or grandfather clocks, you know that there's tons of gold on there. And the hardest thing I'm going to encounter within this build is probably the clock itself. So I'm kind of going to lay that out. And as you know, I use wool blocks to kind of lay out the actual structure of the thing that I'm building. So let's kind of build out a shape for that clock. Okay, so if you're dealing with odds and even numbers, you'll have a center or a 2-center block. And for a clock, you definitely want a dead center, right? So I built 3 wide on each side. Everything's an odd number. I want there to be hands, and I think this is already too small, but if I were to do something like that, it's kind of got some hands. That's actually not bad at all. Let's try a 5x5 and see how that looks. All right, so here's the 5x5. We got 5 here, 5 wide. Kind of an ugly circle. And it's maybe too big, but let's see how those hands would lay out. I mean, I guess it doesn't have to be too detailed, but like that would be one hand and then this would be the other hand. That's pretty good. Is there any way I could put a gap in between these? I can. 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, so I think this is the build of the actual clock we're going to be going through with. All right, so I found the exact center of this block. I don't much care for this side. I'm really just going to build out this way. We got the actual structure of the clock here, so that'll fit the shape right there. I don't even know where to begin, but let's build the bottom of this base. And I definitely want to make like a wide base and then have pillars kind of going up towards the clock. And like the grandfather clock, having a window in there that kind of shows the stairs and the hanging thingamabobbers that clocks have. What the hell are those things called? I have actually no idea. So again, we're going to use pink wool with the center block here. Try to figure out that bottom structure and what kind of shape we want to go through with on that. Okay, so I'm only going to do this much because it's honestly just going to be the same thing on the other side. I wanted to kind of round the corners because, like I said before, I want there to be like a top here and then some giant pillars, maybe 4 blocks wide. I'm not sure, kind of go up and follow into the clock, something like that. But I definitely wanted the corners rounded. So now that I got the actual shape of this build, let's start laying out this bottom foundation. All right, as you can see, we have a pretty sick start to this, honestly. I really enjoy the shape that I'm going for here. And kind of like that tree temple fortress, we're going to have 4 entrances each side to this clock. But I'm definitely still going to make it one side face heavy and kind of have the other side being, you know, kind of blank, maybe some windows to follow up. For the structure, the bottom part of this base, I think it looks really good. And as I was building that, I don't know if orange would look any cool here. That might actually be really sick. It's kind of like a finished wood style. Maybe not. Let's try a different block here. What about just a standard oak plank? Too basic. How about a jungle plank? Ooh, you know what? I think we found our winner. The jungle plank is definitely what I'm going to go use for this. I'm going to try and figure out how I'm going to deal with that and kind of build this bottom structure out a little bit further. All right, leave it in the comments below if you guys like this Halo music I'm playing. I freaking love Halo, so I like the music a lot. But anyways, this is what we got for the beginning stage of this. And as you can see, I don't know if you saw it in the time lapse, but I had a little count issue with this side right here. But overall, I think this looks really cool. And now we're just gonna start filling in the details and trying to build out this a little bit further. Again, I'm adding details here, the slabs and the stair blocks. As you can see, I'm rounding out these door areas with these corner stair blocks here, kind of just to build out that shape a little bit more and kind of make it more visually interesting. And I think that's looking great. I just kind of wanted to fit the details in where I could as I'm going here, just so that I have an idea of what kind of details I want to do when I get closer to the end of this build. All right, so now I have all 4 sides lined up. You can see I added some gold blocks here, and this bottom bit is looking absolutely sick. And I didn't want to add too many details because I didn't want to draw it away from the actual clock tower that'll be going up here. Again, I want to add like pillars here, kind of holding up the main bit of the tower, whether you know what I'm talking about or not. You know I love symmetry if you've watched this series so far, but it's always good to not have things perfectly symmetrical. Regardless, I'm going to move into that part of this build and try to figure out what I wanted to do for that. All right, so as you can see, I built the actual columns, those pillars I was talking about, and I built them 40 high. I actually had it only half high at first, but then I was like, this is way too short. So 40 tall for that only is making more work for me. Won't matter for you, it'll all be a time lapse anyways, but those pillars look absolutely sick. So now I want to actually build the interior, the actual structure of this clock tower, grandfather clock base, try to fill it in. And my idea for it is to kind of have it detached from these pillars and really make these pillars something that are holding this structure up. Maybe I'll build it a block in, maybe I'll build it right on the other side of it. Who really knows? Wow, look at the view actually, it's super sick. And that's what I'll be working on right now. So let's get right into that. So as you can see, I kind of laid out the general inside and then how that inside is going to come up. So right now I was just working on this opening window section where you'll see all the stairs and all the dangly bits like a master clock. And I'm trying to just build like a really intricate like window here. And I don't know if I want to add more pillars, maybe smaller ones. But so far this is what we got. I want to incorporate maybe a little bit more gold, but I think most of the gold is going to come from the clock and the actual interior. And again, I don't know what I want to do on each side. Maybe I'll match it all. I think that would be pretty cool if I matched it all. So that's probably what I'll end up doing, just so every side is symmetrical. Give every side a clock as well, so you can just see all the really cool details within this one. But overall, this is kind of like the design I'm going for. I really like the patchy bits here, so I'll probably add more of those, maybe coming out of the middle here. Not really sure. I'm winging it as I do. I'm no pro builder, that's for sure, so I'm really trying to make this look cool and make this work and make it be something I'm proud of. So I'll come back after I've kind of figured out the window situation, and then we can get on to the stairs and then actual clock bit that's on top of all this. Oh my God, glass panes are like miserable to place. They gotta make it easier. Overall though, you kind of see what I'm doing here. This is the open window and I think it looks absolutely dope. Definitely gonna add a lot more other details here. I think I'm gonna kind of just jump cut all 4 sides with a window like this with a little bit more details just to save space on my computer. But overall, that's kind of the window of this clock, and there's still a little gaps here that need to be filled in, but who really knows what I'm gonna do with that. I'll be right back at a snap of a finger, about an hour and 30 minutes of me actually placing stained blocks. Pray for me and for you half a second. So I'll see you there. All right, guys, welcome back. Took me about an hour and some change to finish these 3 sides here. 3 sides, not 4. You said all 4 sides would be done. Well, I did that for a very specific reason, and that reason being all the small details that I put in this piece so far. And I keep saying piece, it's a build. I'm an artist as well. Follow me on my art account or my art channel if you haven't seen that. So I get in the habit of saying piece instead of build. But in this build, I added a lot of details behind the scenes there. Looks like one I missed. I added some lanterns around the side. I'll turn it to night here in a second so you can see those. Kind of just adding more light. Added the doors and windows here. To fill in this balcony area gap in between the pillars, I added these slabs with solid blocks in between just to add a lot more dimension and shape to this build. And then moving up to the overall opening window of this clock tower grandfather clock build, I have these really cool little gold block details and stairs right here, and that's definitely what I wanted to showcase in actual footage for you guys. And also because I'm subject to building 4 walls of panes, which is a pain, you'll have to watch one 15-second time lapse of me placing the glass. But overall, I just wanted to show the details I added here and how I added them. I went up a certain amount of blocks and then I hit this roadblock here where I did upside down standing upstairs, and as you've heard in my past videos, this builds so much more dimension to your build. And I also wanted something that actually touches the pillar, because it seems like the pillars are going to be holding a lot of weight of the clock tower up top. So I definitely wanted to make it look like that it was well supported. So I added these stairs bottom and top. And if you made it this far, please consider leaving a comment on what you want me to build next. Some really obscure ideas I've made so far in this series, ideas that I haven't really seen many other people, I guess besides the tree fortress, I haven't really seen like a skull fortress or even an idea as intricate as a clock tower grandfather clock build base, whatever you want to call it. I haven't really seen anything like that. So if you guys have any ideas of some building ideas you want me to tackle, leave it in the comments below. If you made it this far, consider leaving a like. These videos take a really long time to make, and I'm not using that as an excuse, because honestly I really love making them. That would be really well appreciated. And yeah, I just wanted to show those cool little details. Let's get back into the time lapse and finish up this last side. forgot, I also wanted to show you what the lanterns looked like at the bottom of this base. Check that out. Now that's a vibe. Look at the colors, the gold and the brown. So cool. Here's the inside. Obviously, I mean, just so much space. This build's gonna have so much space. So if you do a build like this, you definitely can build you can have a nether portal, an enchanting table, all the chests in the world, all the kitchens, furnaces in the world. You could even have a farm in this freaking thing. It's so big. So if you do something like this, you'll have a lot of space. But I just wanted to show you how that looked at night, and it looks really cool. And hopefully the stairwell winding up will have a lot of lights and really light up this midsection as well. So back to the glass panes, which are a pain. And oh my god. You know what? I just asked for it when I built this 40 high. So 40 tall for that only is making more work for me. I knew I would have to place so many panes. But my god, look at this thing so far. It looks so sick. Oh my god. All those panes, and it just looks so dope. Oh my god, I'm so proud of how this looks so far. All right, so now on to the money maker, the actual clock up top. I definitely want to match the thickness I did down at the bottom, but just with one little slim layer. Maybe add another pillar section on the inside, or maybe even farther out, to kind of just bring the clock all together. So I'm gonna add like a little platform here, something that the clock tower itself can actually sit on. So I'm gonna do that real quick. All right, so as you can see, I built this little platform here where this clock tower will actually sit. And this also makes for a super dope like balcony area too. So honestly, like this even as a base is super sick. A clock tower, grandfather clock build for like a base is super dope. Definitely one I'm gonna do in the future of a survival world, just because this balcony area where this clock is gonna sit is gonna be so sick. But I also don't want to make the clock too far in so you can't really see it from the bottom of the build. So I would definitely want to make it big and then closer to the outside of this, and then maybe it works in and then this is still a balcony. Regardless, this is going to be a balcony. I don't really care, just because it looks so cool. So let's actually put in the clock itself and see where things are going to lie around it. All right, so overall, don't know if I really like how this clock is looking. It looks too sharp on the angles here. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I round out the corners a little bit more on the actual circle. Let's try that. Oh my God, that's a night and day difference. Just shooting out those corners right there definitely builds that clock out a lot better. And that'll be the face of all four sides of this clock tower. And another thing I noticed is concrete is freaking awesome. I was trying a lot of different white blocks and none of them really look too good, but concrete has no defining block features. So it really, if you're really trying to like illustrate something in Minecraft, using concrete is definitely the way to go. I'm going to put these on all four sides, and then we'll try to figure out what the top of this clock tower, grandfather clock, base, mansion, tower is going to be. So let's get it. All right, that's all four sides done. Obviously, and I know they're all different times, whatever, but they look absolutely sick. And I think I'm gonna add the actual balcony area in and how I want to articulate in between these giant clocks. So I'm definitely gonna add a lot of wood. I don't know if I want this to be go to a point, kind of like a clock tower, or grandfather clocks are kind of flat at the top. But I'm definitely gonna try and figure that out. But most importantly, we got to fill in those gaps and we got to do it right. So I definitely want to keep the balcony idea, so we're gonna try to figure out how I articulate that. But overall, there's the clocks. They look super cool. They're the perfect size on this giant clock tower. Let's start figuring out the last bit of the exterior of this build. right, so check this out. I incorporated a lot of the wood on this corner, filled it in properly, and we have entryways for the actual balcony. And look at this freaking view. So overall, I really like how this corner works out. It kind of follows the shape of the circle, leads up into a point here, also adding like a mini pillar, allows 2 exit points and a chill ass balcony here. And I added these little details here, if you didn't notice that, in front of the clock. And I think overall, that's going to be a very fitting corner build for all 4 sides, and definitely lights it up a bit. You can see it's a bit dark here. Again, the stairway with the lanterns will fill up that middle section there. Definitely still want to add dangling gold things to incorporate more of the grandfather clock-esque build. I will be doing this to all 4 sides, so I won't time lapse it because you just watched it. So I'll catch you back in a second, half a second, probably like 30 minutes for me. So I'll catch you then. Oh my God, look at that. I am so happy on how this turned out. Some things I added, doors obviously to get in and out. Here's what the inside looks like. Holy shit. Dude, this area is sick. Imagine building a base in this. Like an actual like hardcore base with all your loot and stuff. That would be absolutely sick. But check out those clocks, man. Oh my God, this looks dope. I'm so proud of how those ends turned out. At first, I didn't really know how to feel. I was like, man, am I messing this up? Like, I really hope not. But man, it looks absolutely dope. So the last bit of the exterior is the top, and what I'm seeing here is I really like the following of that circle edge. So I'm going to follow that circle edge up into a point here. Maybe there's like side balconies here, and then as that roundness comes out, it'll lead all the way to a point. And luckily we built on odd numbers, right? So there'll be a dead center, and that'll just be super satisfying looking. Man, this build has been, honestly, this build has been very technical. It's been way more technical than the skull or the jungle fortress that I made in episodes 1 and 2. Overall, I think because of that, it's going to be probably the best Let's Build It video on this channel so far. And it's only episode 3. And again, leave it in the comments below if you guys got any ideas of what you want me to build. Someone mentioned a gladiator fighting ring or arena, which is a super cool idea. And let's finish the final step of the exterior, the top. If you've made it this far, consider dropping a like on this video. It really helps me out and I really appreciate it. And maybe go check out those other videos too if you really like how this build's coming along. I'm gonna try to figure this out, make it so it's a little bit more even with that, so then we can finish the top, and then I'll also fill in that, and I'll be right back. All right, so I'm back and I changed a lot of things. For one, definitely finishing that bottom area like the top. I think that looks absolutely sick. Plus, I like the clock being like encased, like it's deep inside this build. I don't mind that at all. Another thing I added was this giant window. Got rid of this top balcony bit, and now you can kind of see how that's gonna cone up. So I'm gonna follow behind the back of this window, follow this all the way up, and hopefully that comes into an exact point, and then we can work on the staircase. This looks so sick though. I absolutely love this. I'm gonna do another fast cut. I'm gonna get all 4 sides to this point right here, and then we'll finish the top, do the stairs, and she'll be complete. So yeah, I'm gonna do that jump cut, finish all 4 sides like I said, and I'll be right back. All right guys, check this out, man. Oh my God. So I added that second balcony to all the corners, as you can see. Started rounding it up, added a window each side, and look at that. So final step of it all is adding a point, well, to the exterior, I should say, is adding the point of this. And I definitely want to make it round, the stairs round on top of this. And then we can get into the staircase. And after the staircase, we're going to try to make the staircase as big as possible so that I think I'm gonna use like frog lights, like the orange frog lights, and just drip them down the middle. And hopefully that'll make for a really, really sick build even at night. So hopefully that looks cool. I mean, as you can see, this looks absolutely sick during the day. During the night is really where I want it to glow and shine. But overall, that's the actual clock portion of it. Make the roof to a point here, and then we'll work on the stairs. All right, guys, check the roof out, man. Oh my God, look how intricate and sick it is. Look at how those windows kind of build into the top. Honestly, this is probably the best roof I've ever made in Minecraft, literally ever in my life. Let's see how it looks on the inside. I haven't actually looked how it looks. Oh my God, look how sick that is. Holy crap, look at the design up there. Oh my God, that looks so sick. What the hell? The design of the roof just looks dope from down here. Oh my God, what a dope roof. I can't wait to finish the inside. But look at the outside there. Oh my God, that looks absolutely dope. I know I want it to be more at a point. I think this looks super sick. And I think with that glowing interior, it's gonna be even sicker. So without further ado, let's get right into the master staircase. All right, so as you can see, I kind of struggled a little bit with the stairs, but look at how this is going. I have two master stair sets that'll be intertwining like DNA strands all the way up to that sick top. So I'm gonna do another jump cut when I get all the way to the top. I'm basically just adding pillars underneath each end point after the stairs take a turn and putting a lantern there too. But I'll do another jump cut till I'm all the way to the top. Then we can build the chandelier all the way down to the middle, the chandelier, the grandfather clock guts or whatever. But I'll do that jump cut right now. All right, guys, check it out. The winding staircase all the way down, all the way up. Here it is during the day. Check that out. Now it is looking a little bleak, a little dim up here. So the final step of this build and the most exciting part, and I haven't even seen it from the outside yet. We got to build the chandelier, the guts, all the way down the double winded staircase, completing the grandfather clock tower build. And I'm really amped to do that. We're going to use the frog lights to do so, but these stairs look absolutely beautiful. All right, so here we have the yellow or orange frog light. What is that? The color ochre? I don't even know. Forget that. But this is going to be the perfect centerpiece to this build. I think what I'm going to do start before I do the details is bring this all the way down to ground level. Man, we have a lot of real estate to work with here. And now we have some ways we can articulate this. So maybe I'll have, I don't even know, maybe make some knots in this one and then kind of make other ones falling down or something like that. But we're going to do the chandelier, the guts. All right, guys, what do you think of this winding chandelier? I think it looks pretty dope, but I'm really, really excited to check out the outside. Overall, this build has been super articulate. This is definitely the longest I've ever taken on a Let's Build It video, and honestly, it looks so dope. Obviously, there's a lot of small things like the clock showing on the inside, but I'm not really here to do any interior details or furnishing, just the core skeleton of the build. But overall, this chandelier looks absolutely sick. I definitely want to put in a wood floor here, and once I've done that, we'll do the final reveal from the outside. Ladies and gentlemen, I finally present to you the finished grand clock tower base. And look how absolutely intricate and beautiful this thing looks. We got the shining chandelier falling down the double winding staircase. Look at all the small details. Look at this super sick roof. I'm so proud of this build, and you got to see how this thing looks at night. Look how sick that looks. This build is absolutely colossal. We have 4 entrances on each side, the checkered floor on the first floor, following up the winded staircase, following that beautiful golden chandelier, all the way to the clock room, all the way to the top. Numerous floors have balconies to some sick, absolutely wonderful views of the landscape. I mean, look at this build. Check out this view. And I'm super, super proud of this build. Like, again, this was the most intricate build and by far one of my favorites, if not my favorite so far. The Skull Fortress was a hard one to beat. The tree base was such a vibey one, but this one overall, I mean, just so many details within this one that I'm super, super proud of. And it took me a really, really long time to make. And if you guys enjoyed this video, enjoyed this build, please consider subscribing. It really helps me out. Leave a like and leave a comment down below some of your favorite parts of this build and what you want me to build next. I had such a fun time making this build. I'm really excited to continue this series. Like I said, these last 2 videos of this series have been the best videos on my channel so far. So I really, really, really appreciate that. And I really appreciate you guys leaving comments on the videos. I reply to all of them. I look at all of them, and I'm super psyched to see that you guys are really hyped on how my builds are turning out. Again, like, comment, and consider subscribing if you haven't. And I'll see you guys in the next Let's Build It video. Stay tuned every week for a new video. It may not be Minecraft, but I promise you it'll be of great quality, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it. So I appreciate y'all for watching once again, and I will see you guys next week.